Welcome, Sagittarius, to your June 8th to June 14th forecast. For you, the most influential transit this week is going to be the full moon in Sagittarius, and that's going to highlight your personal growth and self-development. So the spotlight will be on you. You're being guided to embrace your truth, set intentions, excuse me, and pursue paths that align with your authentic self. So we also have here the 3 of diamonds. Okay, so there may be some specific plans that you have here that you're thinking about employing or getting started on. So you may be refining those plans, adjusting them, figuring out what works best for you. And you may also be gathering knowledge and wisdom as a part of this process as well. So you may have already kind of started down a path and you're just refining and readjusting that. We also have the Page of Wands here as well. So you're maybe feeling creative, enthusiastic, courageous, confident. You may also receive some great news as it relates to what you're working on at this time. So that's awesome. We also have the 9 of Cups here. All right, so yeah, you may also be feeling emotionally fulfilled and satisfied, and it could be related to the goals that you're trying to accomplish or achieve. So either you making progress toward the goals or the things that you're doing as a result of making progress is starting to make you feel fulfilled and blissful and excited about the goals and the things that you're trying to accomplish. So we also have the King of Wands here as well. All right, so this is more creativity, more inspiration coming through. You may find some new revelations that come out here as a part of you refining and taking a look at what you've done and being grateful and appreciative for what you've accomplished so far, and also being looking at your successes as well as a part of this process and a part of your learning journey here. So you may find like a lot of things to be passionate about and a lot of things to celebrate as well. That's what I was trying to get out. Yeah, so you may also kind of reaffirm your loyalty to your plans and your goals as well, and know that you taking risks and as a part of this journey, calculated risks. Now we're talking about calculated risks, things that you've researched, you've really thought through carefully. Those will work out for you, taking those calculated risks. We also have the Queen of Cups here. So it's a lot of emotional fulfillment and passion coming through. So this is you like feeling aligned with your life purpose and your true calling and feeling like, yeah, I'm on the right path. That's wonderful. So we have discipline. Okay, so that may come up at a certain point. And you may, excuse me, you may also already be applying more discipline, more commitment, more loyalty, as we said, to your goals that you do want to accomplish. It's like go time, and you're like really focused on your goals. So let's look at some challenges. So we do have the Chariot. So there are still messages for you. There's still guidance here. You may be detached a little bit from your inner guidance system, and it could be that you just are like, I want to do things this way, or I hear you, but I'm still going to do the opposite. I'm going to choose the other option. So yeah, you may have that come up here a little bit here this week. And there is no wrong choice here. It's just that your higher self can see everything. They can see the whole path in front of you. And that's why they're gently guiding you to the path of like least resistance, of least struggle, of least challenges. Like you're still going to have those challenges. You're still going to have that contrast, but it may not be as deep or as difficult if you chose to like, nope, I'm not listening to that. I'm going on my own direction. I'm going rogue, basically. So yeah, that's definitely going to come up for you this week. And just know that if you do go rogue, if you do go in a completely different path than what your intuition is guiding you and what feels good, then that may result in some additional contrast for you. That's all. Not a bad thing. It's just your choice. Okay, and we have the 6 of Wands here as well. So we do see that there may be a little bit of a setback here. So you may be wanting and expecting things to happen a little more quickly. You may even have like a pinnacle or like a goal that you wanted to reach this week that you may fall a little bit short of, or it may not necessarily occur exactly how you intended or thought that it would. But just trust and know that there is celebration to be had. There is victory in whatever it is that you're working towards. So maybe just celebrate the small successes. So it may not be like the full, let's just say if you were working on saving $1,000 and you find that, okay, my deadline was the end of this week and I only have $800 saved. Well, that is still something to be very proud of, all the work and effort that you put in, the sacrifice that you made to save what you saved. And that's a great amount. You can do a lot with that money. You know what I'm saying? So be proud of that. Be proud of the work that you have put into it, because that was inspired action. You felt passionate about that. You were able to do that. Again, it may be just a tiny bit short of what you had planned, but look at what you accomplished and achieved. Be proud of the work that you have done. We also have the Two of Diamonds here. Okay, so you may be deciding between, like what we talked about up here, about what path you want to go down, what choices you have. This is really you weighing options. And then you may also find like, okay, all of these paths seem a little difficult for me at this time. So it may be that may come up, but just know that there's going to be ups and downs on whatever path you choose. Like we said earlier, this is about picking the path of least resistance that feels most aligned with you. So that's all that you're being guided to do here. So that's not saying that like, oh, pick path A or pick the path your intuition tells you and everything will be perfect. That's absolutely not what's being said here. So we know there's going to be ups and downs along the way, but you got this. You're strong enough and you're brave enough to handle them. We also have the Ten of Wands here with you releasing burdens. And so for some of you, that may be a little bit of a challenge here, especially if you do encounter a setback, or especially if, you know, if we go back to that example of trying to save and you're not quite there, but you've done a lot and you've made a lot of progress. Well, it's time to let those burdens go. That the way that you would talk to yourself negatively if you didn't meet your goals, any fears that you have surrounding that, any negative energy that you're allowing to happen as a result of that. This is about letting all that go, letting go of any fears or beliefs that you have about like not accomplishing and achieving your goals, like any of that lower vibrational energy. You're being guided to really let that go. And that is going to come up as a challenge for you this week. So stay positive, stay focused on your goals, and celebrate the small wins. Okay? So we have just that promise that it does get better, right? Because you're releasing those anything that's not serving you, you're releasing it, and that is allowing for abundance to come through. That's allowing for inspiration, for new ideas to how you can reach that $1,000 or reach your goals. Okay? And just that trust and knowing that reality is really just the past. It's previous energy that you put out that the universe has constructed to bring to you, to show you where you're at. So every second of every day is a new opportunity for you to be different, to choose a better attitude. Okay? And this is just that confirmation of that. So let's look at underlying fears here. Judgment. So I'm hearing that this literally means judgment, like any judgment from others, especially if you don't quite meet your goals. That needing to just be definitely an underlying fear that's coming up here. I also feel like there's this underlying fear of not necessarily being sure of what your intuition is guiding you to do or telling you to do, and that's not going to be for everybody, but there is still this process of you learning to open your third eye, learning to be more connected to your higher self and source, so that you may be feeling a little unsure about the messages that you're hearing and if it's right. Is that really your intuition or not? So yeah, those underlying fears may come to the surface here, and you're being guided and directed to trust and to really pay attention to how you feel and the thoughts that you're thinking and the words that you're saying. Because if it doesn't feel good, or you're feeling like indifferent in any way, then that's something that you are guided and being guided to explore. Why am I feeling that way? Oh, because this may not actually be for me. Or it's just a little bit of fear and anxiety. So if I stay in the present moment and I focus on the present moment, then those fears go away and I no longer fear that. And I start to feel more inspired. I start to feel more excited and more passionate about my goals. So it's definitely going to depend on the individual person and where you're at in your journey. Okay, so you may have a little bit of fear about going on a new adventure here, or having a new beginning here, or opening yourself up to more. And what that means because you can't close your third eye once it's open. You know what I'm saying? So you may have a little bit of fear about that. Like, what does this mean now? Do I want to be feeling these things? Do I want to be receiving these downloads and messages? Okay, but yeah, this is a new journey, and if you're watching me, you're highly spiritual and you are raising your frequency, your vibration, your consciousness, and you're expanding it. So this is not the time to be afraid of that, or to fear that, or to go in the opposite direction, because you're always going to be at that place if you don't allow yourself to move forward and to further expand. Okay. What else? So we have the Two of Wands here. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like this is more about just the path and you being a little unsure about what that means, how that's going to look like, your plans for the path that you decide to take in your journey. So we talked about planning up here, but this is more about just those fears about that planning coming to the surface here. So don't be afraid of that, because you can always adjust, you can change, you can do a little less, do a little more. However it works for you, you can adjust at any time. So don't feel like you're like stuck in a particular. Now, if you sign a contract or something like that, that's a little different. But just know that, you know, there's always opportunity for you to adjust and be more aligned with who you authentically are. So anytime you're feeling like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't really, this is getting out of control, this isn't truly what I want, then you can start to consider and allow yourself to be open to ways that come to you on how you can adjust and change course. Okay, so let's look at potential outcomes here. So we have the King of Swords. So you definitely coming into clarity and seeing clearly and understanding more about all there is to know. And for some of you, I'm hearing like understanding all there is to know about this circumstance and situation here, whatever you're applying this to. There's more information for you and you're coming into that knowing. Okay, so we also have the Devil here. So you may also be coming into the realization that some of the vices that you have and the ways that you've been like feeling really comfortable in your comfort zone are not going to work any longer. This new version of you, these new things that you're working towards, your new goals, your new aspirations, they don't allow for you to stay in your comfort zone. Okay, so any vices, which is basically anything that's keeping you stuck, whether it's tangible or whether it's in your mind, anything that's keeping you stuck is something that you will address, or it will come to the surface here. Okay, and you know and trust that any small adjustment you make is going to have significant progress toward your goals and toward the path that is meant for you. Okay, so if you don't feel comfortable, say if you want to, you know, quit smoking and drinking, and you don't feel comfortable with doing both, maybe it's about cutting down on your smoking or stopping smoking. and working on that first, and then, okay? So, you know, the smallest changes are going to have the biggest rewards for you. What else? So we have this Tower as well. Okay, yeah, we have, I mean, we have the transformation and change right here, and we have that you are going to need to let go of those vices and anything that's keeping you stuck, as well as be truthful and honest with yourself about where you're at and what steps you feel are appropriate for you to continue on your journey and on the path that you want to be on. Okay? So we have your energy field needing adjustment, your aura cleansing, and health. So there may be, I feel like there's meditations that you can do for your aura, but I'm hearing chakra. So if you can't find any meditations for your aura, then you may find meditations on balancing and healing your chakras. Okay, but this also to me is about health and wellness as well. So if there's ways that you can clean up from a physical body perspective, you're being guided to do that, as well as focus on the internal. So body, mind, and soul is what you're being guided to work on. What else? So we have Lady Venus with the downloads and the understanding and knowing that truth is being revealed. So there's deep insights coming from heaven and the astral realm. So I feel like it's also your ancestors, your soul family, as well as your higher self, source, and your guides. Okay, so that is that confirmation here as well, that you have that unconditional love and support available to you. And you can connect with it, and you can ask for support at any time. What else? So we have a time for healing. Wonderful. So if you're able to get in those self-care practices that I'm always promoting here, and we have here that confirmation, maybe it is some meditations that you can incorporate, or just, I'm hearing for some of you, just drinking more water, eating healthier, exercising. Yeah, any of those things that you can do that make you feel good. And it doesn't have to necessarily be that. It could be like just getting more sleep. Any practice that makes you feel better is what you're being guided to do, because that is contributing to your healing journey and your healing process. Okay? All right, so let's see. Let's get one or two more here. So we have polarity with integrating your shadow side and knowing that there can be no light without dark, and you're being guided to really understand the law of polarity. Okay, so I love that. So this is really connecting you with your shadow self and allowing you to embrace that without judgment and know that it is part of who you are. And I feel like I'm hearing like dark night of the soul, because essentially out of that process is you embracing all of who you are, no matter what it is, and trusting that you're on the right path, and trusting that you are healed and whole and complete. Okay? What else? So we have Hilarion with divine healing. Wonderful. We have a lot of healing coming through, a lot of messages. And I feel like also this is, if I didn't mention ancestors here, like definitely there's messages from ancestors as well, because I just heard that. So definitely go within and connect. So we have you honoring your sensitivity and retreating to recharge and heal. And recognizing how your light is support for others. It's inspiration for others as well. So the better you're able to take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul, the more you inspire others. So that is really the priority for you at this time. Okay, so recharge yourself, replenish yourself, and refill your cup first. Okay, Sagittarius, so those are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week.